This is our response to Not Just Bikes, the video he made about why I hate Houston. Man, dude, when I first saw that video, I was amazed. I thought it was amazing, and it's just that I completely agree with the guy in the video. I believe that when you have like car-centric cities, when you have places where you obligate people to have a vehicle and make it inconvenient for them to walk and or bike, you basically completely lower the quality of life in any of those cities. Because now, what do? Now people have to drive. So people have to spend money on a car, they're forced to drive, and they don't have the option or the convenient option of walking, biking, or taking public transportation. I believe this causes people to become unhealthy. People don't exercise as much. People don't get fresh air. They're not getting sun. And they're not socializing either when you have these unwalkable cities, unbikeable cities.
No.
What do you think? What do you think of his
I
point?
completely agree. I mean, after being one of the people who used to drive all the time till, 2015, before I moved to the Philippines, yeah, I wouldn't think anything of it though. Just like what he said, it's like you grow up that way, and it's not a issue to you. But
Yeah.
once you do travel, I think, especially to other countries, and you don't have access to your car, so you are gonna walk places. Hey, yeah, how come this place isn't walkable, or how come, or when you go to a city like even Colombia, there's places you can walk and there's bike paths and everything, but
Cities in Colombia.
Cities in Colombia, but just at most places in the U.S. not that way. You don't have a car,
Yeah, and I've been noticing that a lot over here in
Canada,
in Tijuana, Mexico.
Yeah,
just like outside where we're like on this street, it's not walkable. It's absolutely not walkable. There are sidewalks missing from like multiple sides of the street. It's crazy, and I mean I got used to it being in California, but at a certain point I just couldn't believe I just couldn't believe the inconvenience of walking, biking, and or taking public transportation. What happened was that a few years back when I went to Europe for the first time. Okay, so long story short, I drove for 10 years in the LA Orange County area, and then one day my car died. I had no interest in driving again. I don't know what happened. And then at that point, I planned a trip to Germany. I flew over to Germany. As soon as I got there, I'm seeing people bike everywhere, and it was very walking friendly. The public transportation was amazing over there. And I just started thinking about it. And when I got back to LA, Orange County, I just couldn't believe how crappy the public transportation was. And I never thought of this kind of stuff until I actually saw this video. I didn't have the terminology or the experience to exactly be able to pinpoint why I hated being in the suburban areas of the United States so much. And even in Mexico, like, this is not a whole lot different. It might be worse.
Well, the public transportation though here is a lot better though.
The public transportation is better. But the walking and biking infrastructure is terrible out here, to be honest.
It is. But yeah, in the Philippines, the public transportation is really good too. So that was nice. Walking things, not that good though. I don't think. I mean, well, it is in the cities, but the problem is you have to worry about being hit by a motorcycle.
Yeah, that's not walking friendly.
No.
Yeah, it was until I saw this whole walking friendly, biking friendly kind of infrastructure. I mean, the first place I saw it was Germany. Then I saw it in other countries like Poland, Austria, Spain, like other countries where public transportation, biking, walking was just very convenient. And they say that in these countries, they say that in another video from Not Just Bikes, he shows that the Netherlands is also the best country to drive a car in, because the people. It's so funny that I'm saying that. He makes the point that the people who drive in those countries are people who want to drive, and people who satisfy strict requirements to get a driver's license.
Mm.
So then you're not dealing with congested traffic as a driver, and you're around people who want to drive and or are qualified to. And
Now
that makes the driving experience far better.
Now that you mentioned that, yeah, you're right. I think they have to pay like a fee to drive almost every year.
Yeah.
Annette was telling me about that. She's from the Netherlands and she drives. But yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of have to pay for the privilege to drive. So I guess it would be more of a and that's what it is. It'd be a privilege, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess.
It's just sitting in traffic, being obligated to buy a car instead of having the option to walk, bike, and ride public transportation, and sitting in congested traffic. I don't know how that, like, I don't see the quality of life in that. I really don't.
No, no. It's for, especially in the city. I mean, and even the suburbs. I can understand owning a vehicle here when you come from a podunk town out in the middle of nowhere, like I'm from. I understand having a vehicle there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get that because there is no public transportation at all. And you want to ride your bike 21 miles to the store? Go right ahead.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, so there are some places you definitely do need a vehicle in the U.S., but that's just how it is in the U.S. But apparently, I think Canada's the same as well after watching that video.
Yeah, it almost, in a way, it's kind of like, this is a strong word to use, but in a way, it's kind of communistic. It's kind of, because when you're obligated, you're obligated to purchase a vehicle and drive it instead of being able to do A, B, and C, or X, Y, and Z. It's just, I think the quality of life just lowers a lot, and that's why I don't even own a vehicle anymore. And if I end up staying in the U.S. like long term, like I'm gonna have no choice. Especially if I'm living in a suburban area. Because what choice do you have at a certain point when the grocery store's all those miles away, and you can't get there conveniently using any other option than driving?
Right? The only other option would be to have it delivered because everything's they want.
That is,
That would be the only other option.
That is still an option.
though. But just to go somewhere though, to go to a gym, you still have. It's not going to be within walking distance. So,
exactly.
You would need a vehicle.
It's not people. I talked about this with a friend that I know that I met in Mexico, and I told him, do you really believe how much freedom do you believe you really have when you're forced to purchase a vehicle instead of walk, bike, and ride public transportation? Like, are you that free anymore? And I'm like, think about it. What do you think? You're not that free, because you have to.
Yeah, then you have to pay the car insurance every month, and you have to put gas in the car for it to go. Unless it's
you have to have a parking spot.
Yeah, you have to have a parking spot.
Yeah.
And parking in California is ridiculous, but.
Yeah. So the car-centric design.
Yeah.
The design that I don't agree with. I do like driving, but I don't like being forced to drive. I don't like being obligated to own a vehicle and have to park it somewhere. But, hey guys, please give us a like
and subscribe.